Hi everyone. Crazy tough times at the moment. Self-isolation, disruption to everything we're doing. You know it's got bad in England when they've had to shut the pubs. It's even happened to my local, the Oaks, and the Globe, and the Sandpiper, and the Nelson, and the Ship, and the Rising Sun, and the Bear. We've heard about this fantastic new idea out of Japan. On-nomi means online drinking. Friends getting together, sharing a drink virtually when they couldn't share one together. So we've invited some of our friends, some of our PH ambassadors, some of the people we work with to have a chat and tell us how they're getting on in this crisis. Hello again, everyone. Another On-nomi, online drinks with me, Andy Blow from Precision Hydration. And today, all the way streaming from Boulder in Colorado, is Sam Appleton, professional triathlete. Sam, how are you doing?
Hey, Andy. Good, thanks. Good to have, good to be here. And unfortunately, like I was saying just before, I was playing some puzzles and board games last night and had a little bit too much wine. So woke up a little bit dusty this morning, and it's only 1 o'clock in Boulder, so I might have to wait another couple of hours before I crack my first beer for the evening. So I've got some water here, but happy to share it.
Yeah, I'll cheers you on that anyway, mate. So there you go. Cheers. Good to see you. You're the first professional athlete I've had on here with a slight hangover for these talks.
I was actually really looking forward to it because I do enjoy, I quite enjoy craft beers and things, and especially here in Colorado, we've got so many little microbreweries. So I'm always going out and trying different beers and things. It's kind of a bit of a hobby of mine. I guess coming into the race season, I'm trying to wean off it. But with the uncertainty with everything that's going on at the moment, it's kind of like, well, I don't feel bad about having a drink or two with dinner now, even though it's almost April.
So for people, because the triathlon community, lots of people visit Boulder, Colorado. Where's the best micro brew, in your opinion?
I think in Boulder, the best, I like Sanitas Brewing, which is, I guess it's fairly well known. If you type in like microbrewery Boulder, you're probably going to get Avery Brewing. That's a really popular one, but to be honest, that's not my favorite. I kind of enjoy the smaller ones. There's actually one right around the corner from us called Gun Barrel Brewing as well, which is really, really small. And I like going there and supporting the local businesses, some of the smaller businesses. It's nice, and I feel like I'm doing my part in the community and enjoying some good beer while I'm at it.
Yeah, very good. Very good. Well, hopefully next time we're out, we'll be able to go and actually have a proper drink.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm always down.
That'd be good. I was going to ask you about something else as well, because as well as triathlon and craft brew, someone told me that you're quite into computer games. So this is my question: is being on lockdown like actually the best thing that's ever happened to you?
Well, it kind of gives me a guilt-free excuse to play, and it's if I play for a couple of hours each day, it's like, well, doing my part, staying socially isolated, staying indoors, and I guess that's kind of a passion of mine as well. Video games outside of training and things like that. Now that I'm obviously stuck at home with my wife as well, she's she's not a huge fan of if I'm sitting in front of the computer games for hours on end. So
what kind of games?
Sorry, what was that?
What kind of games do you play? What are your
mainly like first-person shooter games, Call of Duty, and things like that. I guess it was one of those things I got into when I was young, and I just really enjoy it. It's kind of a way for me to unwind and de-stress a little bit. It's just something that I really enjoy doing, and it's been something that I've been doing probably for, I started when I was probably 10 years old, just playing my brother's PlayStation and things like that, and then it's something that's turned into a pretty big hobby of mine.
Yeah, because I had a very interesting meeting when I was in Santa Monica recently, actually on the trip where I bumped into you in Los Angeles.
In LA.
And we met with the Red Bull High Performance team there, who look after all of the training for their athletes. And there's a guy there full time now who's looking after esports and all the gamers and all of that. And he was telling me just how
monumentally huge it is and how stressful it is for the guys and how much of a serious kind of sport it is. So do you kind of follow that side of things?
Yeah, so I think some people can be quite shocked at how big video games have become, and it's not just like there's people content creating, there's people streaming themselves playing video games, so there's websites you can go on and watch other people playing video games. It's actually like a huge deal, and I don't follow esports as much, but yeah, I do know that it's like some people can discredit it, but it's a very high skill ceiling as well, and it's it is a serious deal. What started off as a hobby for these guys when they were young, probably like me, that just found out that they were really good at it and progressed, kind of like me with triathlon. I guess it starts out as a hobby and you progress. But yeah, it's quite amazing at how big it actually is, and there's so much money as well. It's a huge I think there was a competition last year with Fortnite, which is one of the big the big battle royale games, and I think it was like a 16-year-old kid won $5 million or something like that. It's crazy.
That puts the PTO to shame.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, absolutely. But it's a huge audience, and a lot of people enjoy following it. So I'm not a huge follower of the esports, but I do enjoy keeping up with things from time to time.
Good. What I wanted to also ask you about was obviously the triathlon side of things. That's how we met through your coach, Matt Dixon.
Yep.
And you made a good start to the season. I guess you're one of the few triathletes who have actually got off the line properly this year. And because you raced down in Australia in Geelong a few weeks ago, got second place there in a pretty close race. So when we chatted, this is what amazes me, this was only 4 weeks ago when we were talking, and you were just coming off the back of that race. And, we were talking about what you're going to do this year and all this kind of stuff. And it's the speed of how this has all moved has been phenomenal. But you were in great shape, and then all of a sudden these races have gone away. What sort of mindset have you gone through, or what psychological tribulations have you gone through the last few weeks with that?
Yeah, I think fortunately, like you say, I was able to race early. I'm so thankful that I was able to race in February before it was starting to kind of brew, the coronavirus and everything, but it wasn't to the scale of what it is now. So yeah, I traveled back to Australia and raced quite well, and things were on track for a good season, I think, and the training was going well. And yeah, as you say, it all just escalated so quickly, and I think I was one of the not skeptics, but I remember just some people that were kind of early adopters at the lockdowns and and things like that, and I was a little bit of a skeptic, thinking that it was going to pass and everything was going to be fine. And it wasn't really until I got back to the US that, things just started. Each day you wake up and there's new developments, and it's just amazing at how quickly it's kind of taken hold of the whole world. And yeah, it seems like forever ago that we caught up and had that coffee in LA. And now I'm kind of in the boat of a bit of uncertainty with my racing. I'm not sure when I'm going to be able to race next, but I'm kind of just going along, doing my training. I've kind of pulled it back a little bit. I'm not training quite as hard, just because I don't really see the value in training really hard, considering I don't know when I'm going to race. So I'm trying to keep the mental strain of training at a nice even level. And then, so I'm doing like quite a bit of endurance stuff and still doing some hard sessions here and there. But once the racing does resume, hopefully sooner rather than later, I'll be ready to kind of ramp into the harder training and get the season off the ground. But as it stands now, I'm not really sure when that will be. So I'm kind of prepared for, if it's 3 or 4 months down the track, or if it's, who knows. So
well, I know Matt, your coach, has been doing a lot of talks online, and he's been putting some good information out there for the triathlon community about how to kind of deal with the psychology of things. And I said to him, is there anything I should chat to Sam about this evening when I talk to him, or anything I should mention? He said tell him this. He said, he who sits back and relaxes misses a chance. he who dives into the detail of things often forgotten will prosper. So he's obviously trying to give you a bit of a cryptic message there.
Yeah, I don't even know what that means.
You'll have to ask him.
To email him after this and see what he means by that. But yeah, I think Matt's been really good in this. We've been doing some kind of online, like Zoom meetings, doing strength and conditioning and some upper body workouts, because obviously we don't have access to swimming pools and things like that. So we all kind of get on a big call and we go through a 30 to 40 minute kind of upper body workout that, it's not the same as swimming, but it keeps all those muscles firing and keeps them working. And I think it's important to not fully, shut down, but also to be prepared that you could be, we might not be racing for a few months. So if you're training really hard, it's kind of hard to stay motivated to stay at that kind of pointy end, that knife's edge. And for someone like me I thrive off kind of shorter, more intense build-up. I find it hard to stay at that high level for months and months. So if I'm training really hard and I don't race for, say until August or September, I find I might start to drop down by then and get a little bit stale. So, I'm trying to keep myself in check a little bit in that respect.
So people are always interested in this as to what pro athletes do. So, roughly at the moment, what kind of hours are you putting in on the bike and run, plus your land-based swim sessions?
So hours-wise, I'd hazard a guess it would probably total around 20 hours a week. So, it's not huge, but it's still quite a bit. I'm still doing 2 sessions a day, sometimes 3. Now, because I'm not swimming as much, there's a lot more kind of like double rides or double run days. And it's a lot of it is for sanity as well. It's not all about fitness. It's about, keeping a bit of rhythm and a bit of purpose to your days. And, I always find, I love the quote, mood follows action. So if you wake up and you have a plan and you have a plan of attack and things, and you get on top of that, it's kind of gives you that routine. Whereas if you just kind of wake up and think, oh, what should I do today? And I've had those days for sure, don't get me wrong, where you just kind of sit on the couch and you don't train until midday and you feel a bit like a sloth. But I'm trying to keep a bit of consistency in my routine, which I think is important for me to stay, mentally fresh.
Yeah, I think you make a really good point, and it's one that's been hammered home to me the last few weeks, because I'm now at home with my wife's working from home as well. My kids are here full time because schools are out and they're only young, so they kind of understand what's going on, and they certainly understand that something pretty big is going on, but they need structure and we need structure because we need it for work. And the structure that we've sort of come to is I'm tending to get up and exercise very early in the morning, first thing, come back and take over with the kids while my wife does some exercise. Then she'll work most of the morning. I take the kids out or do some schooling or whatever. And then in the afternoon, we switch over. And what we found is that by establishing a routine and having some milestones in the day and having some targets and things like that, not over regimented, but kind of structuring it well, it's really helped. And it's been the same with work, because obviously the PH gang have all, had to adopt working from home and this kind of thing. And that's not usual for all of us. We're usually in the office, and we have a 9:30 Google Hangout call with the whole team, and another one at 4:30. And those and sort of bookend the day. And actually, although we'd all much rather be working together in the office like we were, we found some solace in that routine, and actually are being very productive in certain areas. We're getting a lot of work that normally get done at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think it's important. It can be hard to work from home because it's mentally, it's the place where you're relaxing, or where you're you're hanging out, you're enjoying time with the kids or time with your family. And to separate that kind of work life in the same environment can be difficult for sure. So it's definitely something that sounds maybe easy to work from home, but it's actually not.
No.
Yeah.
No, it's definitely not. And I guess being a triathlete, that prepares you for that, because you've had years of self-motivated working, basically.
Yeah, I guess, it is. You do have to motivate yourself. You have to wake up and, you have to be ready to go hard. And, it can be hard at times, like anything. There's days where you have those low motivation, but, I think that's what kind of separates the top level guys. You have to get it done on the good days and the bad days. So,
yeah, good. I wanted to ask you two more things before I let you go today, Sam. Yeah. One was very specific in that you're obviously exceptional swimmer. You've said that you're running. Let's face it, running's not bad, but you've said that you wanted to work on your running a bit this year. Do you see a bit of an opportunity here? Because obviously you take a bunch of non-swimmers and a bunch of swimmers out of the water for 6 months, and my money would be on the swimmers kind of faring a bit better off the back of that. So does that give you an opportunity to then take a bit more lead in the swim and also work on your running?
Yeah, I think so. It's a good way of putting it, actually. You can, there's another quote that I like: nothing's ever so bad that there's not a positive that comes out of it. So I guess, kind of looking at it through that lens, it gives me more opportunity to work on my running. And fortunately, I've been swimming my whole life, so it comes back to me pretty quickly. Like last year, I broke my collarbone. I had 8 weeks out of the pool and got back in. And I think within a month, I was kind of back to where I needed to be. So, I am fortunate in that respect. And then the thing was, Matt and I were supposed to do a run project for the early part of this year, and that involved me kind of surrounding myself with this group of track runners who I was going to start running with. But obviously now, with everything that's going on, I'm kind of back to solo training. But it definitely has given me more opportunities to go out and run more and squeeze in some double runs where usually, I might have a big day. I might have a swim, bike and run usually, but now it might just be a double run day. It gives me more chance to kind of build up those miles. So, I guess in that respect, it's a good way of looking at it. And when the pools do reopen, hopefully, as I said, sooner rather than later, I should not have too much trouble in getting back to where I need to be. As long as the first, if the pool's open and then the first race is that weekend or something, it might be a bit of a mad scramble. As long as I get a couple of weeks in the water before my first race, I should be okay.
Yeah, you'd be happy. And the last thing was, in Boulder, it's obviously, there's a bit of a who's who of triathlon and endurance sports there. Who do you tend to kick around with for training in normal circumstances, or are you a solo guy for that?
I do quite a bit by myself. I kind of like that. I don't really know why I like it. I guess it's I really enjoy listening to podcasts out on a long ride and things like that, and kind of going at my own pace as well. Often I don't really like riding in groups, like big groups, because you spend half the time kind of at the back freewheeling. If you're out for a 4-hour ride and you're with 6 people, you could have spent 90 minutes sitting at the back pushing half the watts that you should have been. So often I like doing riding by myself. Like, I don't have a problem going out and doing 4 or 5 hours on my own, but I do like running with other people, especially people that are faster than me. And then swimming, I love swimming with a group as well. There's some masters swims that I do, usually 3 or 4 of those a week, and then a couple more by myself swimming. But I usually recruit someone like Kevin Collington, who's another Matt and Purple Patch guy. And Matt kind of structures our programs to coincide with each other. So we'll often tee up and swim or run together. But as I said, I also don't have a problem going out and doing training by myself. So I know what I need to do, and sometimes it's, I just get out and I just get it done at my own pace or my own intervals and settings that I need to do. So I do like a little bit of both. I guess my harder sessions I probably prefer doing by myself, which is kind of opposite to what other people would say. And then the more easier endurance sessions, I'm happy to go out and ride with maybe 1 or 2 other people and do a couple of hours and stop at a coffee shop. I do quite a bit with Joe Gambles as well. He's another Australian guy that lives just around the corner from me. So we often ride together, and we're kind of in sync as well with our training. We both, we don't want to fluff around when we're out there riding. So I've got a couple of people that I can rely on pretty nicely.
Awesome. Well, thanks for your time. I think I've got one actual small tip for you.
Yeah.
Just based on what you said earlier, like if during this period you are hitting the craft breweries a bit harder, I've heard that some people use Precision Hydration 1500 to help, with the hangover or whatever the next day. I mean, I don't know anything about that myself, and certainly can't endorse it, but it might be worth a try.
I'll give it a go. And I'll report back.
Yes, that'd be great. Well, it's really kind of you to jump on a call for a quick drink, Sam, and I hope we all get back in business sooner rather than later, and we'll be rooting for you this year, mate. So have a good one.
Thanks very much, Andy. Thank you.